And our second speaker's name is Feram Feranmi, sorry, if I'm not getting that, Feranmi Okafor, and she's a marketing and content diva, and she basically does brand storytelling at the Peer headquarters, right? And she was previously at Cowrie Wise as the growth and marketer. So we are going to be welcoming her on stage right now, and she's going to be taking us on a topic that says Diary of a Tech Imposter. Diary of a Tech Imposter, finding yourself while building a career in tech. So most times, if you're new in tech, you're going to have this imposter syndrome, not even only as newbies, even experts do face this sometimes. And this is something that, can actually break your journey and um, actually cause some deceleration in your journey. So we don't want that to happen to any of us. So she's gonna be telling us, and I think she's gonna be channeling down to her personal experience. So welcome to the stage, Feranmi Okafor. We are so happy to have you.
Hi everyone. I don't know if everyone's camera is off, but my name is Feranmi Okafor. I will be sharing my screen now, so just give me a second. Give me a second. Hi. Just give me a second. I'm gonna share my screen now. You let me know if you can see it. Okay, everyone. Are you able to see my screen? Okay, so everyone can see my screen because it's getting a bit messy. Okay, so just to check, can everyone hear me or see me?
Yes, please, we can hear you.
Yes, you can hear me. Okay, great. Nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Feranmi Okafor, and I am a growth marketer for tech companies. I currently work as a brand storyteller for the Peer. It's a software technology company, and previously I worked at a fintech. Everybody knows CurryWise. I worked there as a growth associate. I handled community management, partnerships, that type of thing. Today I'll be speaking on Diary of a Tech Imposter, finding yourself while building a career in tech. I'm going to be a bit fast because we're short on time, so I hope everyone is able to achieve a lot today. This is a little bit about me. Today's goal would be that I want everyone to leave here knowing that there's always going to be moments of doubt, but however, in such moments, you should be reminded that every day is a new challenge that you've never experienced before. So see such moments and be reminded that you're trying out new stuff and this will change your life and that of others. What is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud. You probably would question yourself, wonder if you deserve the position you're in, or even the spotlight. And to be honest, it happens to the best of us. I remember when I started out, I've been in marketing for about 3 years, but I've been in tech space for about a year plus now. Starting out, I knew what I was doing, right? But then when you come into tech marketing, it's a whole different ballgame on its own. And you know the crux of the matter, but then you're coming to an industry where it's heavily dominated by men, and it also rates engineers more than you would rate other people who are not in such technical roles. So, I mean, I work in marketing, but I do write a bit of HTML and CSS code on the side because I feel like it's gonna help. That's just an added advantage. But for a lot of people who work in marketing, they don't necessarily do technical stuff, right? So they are non-tech in tech. It's very easy for you to feel overwhelmed or underrepresented, especially when there are communities for people who are so heavily represented, like the engineers, the software people, technical writers, whatnot. And it's completely normal. The question I always ask everyone is, who are you? Um, whenever you're starting a new career or you're moving into something, you first of all have to understand who you are as a person. For me, it would be that I'm passionate about marketing. I love to have conversations with people. I love to. I wasn't ever meant to be an entrepreneur, right? So I knew from the onset that what I couldn't do was sell things. But what I can do is convince people to buy certain things. And so that's why it was easy for me to figure out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. So if you understand who you are, especially in an industry where there's so much hype, it would really help for you to get settled in. It would also help for you to remind yourself who you are in times where you have moments of doubts. I'll move on. It's very normal. You're new to an industry, you don't know what to expect, you're in a place where there's so much hype and it's saturated and competitive. And I get it, but here's the thing, we're all imposters, to be honest. All of us are struggling, a lot of us are just doing the best that we can. And applaud yourself for it. Um, Understand that you are making your mark, however small or seemingly insignificant it might feel. You are making a difference in your little space. Yes, here with the Oprah meme. Like I said earlier, it's tougher when you're a woman in a space that rates engineers more. Believe me, I know. So I remember when I got into tech, I know I would always talk about like me learning HTML, because I like to really share lots of things that I'm learning. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably see that I tweet a lot about stuff that I'm doing. I'm a very open book. Um, I would have a lot of people say, "Oh, like, what's the reason? What are you trying to do? Why are you doing HTML? Like, it doesn't concern you. You're not in tech. You don't work in tech." But I'm like, no, the things that I know and the role that I function in, is might not be a technical role, but then in a lot of ways I work in tech because I work in the industry. And so there's a lot of people shouting and clouding your mind with doubts and whatnot, and you're asking yourself, okay. And it gets worse when you get to a place where people start to recognize what you do. Then you begin to start to feel like, oh my God, now things are getting really serious. How do I now battle that fear? Finding yourself while doing a career in tech, you should know that it's not a day job, it's a work in progress. And imposter syndrome is very normal and can be healthy. I'll show you how. One of my tips would be to build in public. I currently started a community for tech marketers 2 weeks ago. We're almost at 300 members already. And I didn't know what I was doing at the beginning. All I knew was that I just wanted to have a community of people who are just starting out, and be able to guide them and mentor them and give them access to resources and learning opportunities. Kind of like what HerTechTrail is doing here. It's a very laudable initiative, by the way. So congratulations on 2 years of doing great work. So I'm building in public, and people are seeing the things that I'm doing. I'm not afraid to fail because it's a very vital part of life. If you work in marketing, we speak a lot about experimentation. If you are a growth marketer, you should know that experimenting is a day-to-day activity. You typically would try out new stuff. If they fail, you document, you don't do it again. You try another time. If it works, you document, you continue, or you build up on what you started doing. So building in public not also helps you find a community of people who have like minds, but it also gives you social proof. Learn in public. If you're just starting out, if you are just getting into this space, learn in public. You will meet people who are naysayers, people who would ask you what you're doing and whatnot. But if you're sharing things that you're learning, it's easier for you to learn more, learn fast. It's also easier for you to build a community. It's also easier for you to be connected with people who are more experienced than you and who can put you through. Have a healthy approach to failure. It's completely normal. Like I said earlier, I think it's because I work in marketing. You would try out a campaign today or a campaign idea. Some people also say that in marketing, it's about who copies best because a lot of campaigns and ideas have been reshaped, spun around, have been reworked and whatnot. And to be honest, it's normal. So if you have on this mindset that if you fail at something, that means that you probably just missed out a part of the process. Go back to the drawing board. Another thing that really helps and works out for me is having a vision board. What is my plan for the future? What am I doing? So that in times when I feel like, oh, things are not moving the way I want it to, I go back to my plans. I go back to the things I've written down. I have a notebook here. I carry it everywhere I go. From writing ideas to writing things that I just feel. I write a lot, and it's a very healthy approach. If you're starting out a career, be able to document. And I'll go to the next point, which is document your contributions to every project. If you are just starting at work at a new company, documents. I remember when I started working at Carrywise, I didn't really know how to document stuff. So what I would do was on Slack, I would, if I, you know, I would do like a personal report for all the things I had done that week and send it to myself on Slack. And I just started doing it small, small. And eventually I opened a Google Docs. You can use Coda or Notion, whatever works for you. But documenting these little things, aside from it being your social proof or your proof to your company or whatnot to show them that this is what you've done, this is what you're doing. If you even want to apply for a raise, it's very good to also document these contributions. But aside from that, for yourself, these things help to build confidence. These things help to um, remind you that you are growing, you are progressing, and every time you hear those voices in your head saying, "Oh, you're not doing it well enough, or you're not doing good enough," you go back to the drawing board and say, "Hey, oh, but look at what I did last week. Look at what I did last month. Look at the results of what I did." And these little habits contribute to the perception that's being formed about you, and slowly you begin to form your personal brand. But you have to understand first that before you even go into like personal branding, you have to first of all brand yourself as a winner in your mind first, because it starts from you. So the building in public, the learning in public, it would really go a long way with building perception and building a personal brand on the outside. But the little habits, by like reminding yourself, having a healthy approach to failure, documenting, these things go a long way in building your self confidence, even as you're starting in an industry or if you are still on your tech journey. I have come to the end of my slide, so I hope Feranmi has helped you a little. I'm proud of you, and I'm very excited for you guys. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Just hope everyone can hear me. And what I'd say is, welcome to your tech journey. I know that it might seem daunting. I know that it might seem a lot at times, but follow these little steps and start to build these little habits time after time, and you realize that you wouldn't even know. One day you just realize that um, these things aren't as bad as you think. It's not as difficult as you think. And said something earlier, and it's something I live by: consistency. The consistency with which you put out your work, the consistency with which you document, use that same consistency as well with reminding yourself about what you're doing, about your journey. And please, if you can get into tech, please do. I know everybody's shouting about it right now. That's like the coolest thing. But I also need to let you know that the journey is not as smooth as people make it seem. It takes a lot of dedication and consistency. You have a lot of people that have been here for 15 years, 10 years, and now they're earning in dollars and they're working for Microsoft and Google. And you are only seeing the soft side of the story, but there's a behind the scenes. There's a lot of late nights, there's a lot of practice, there's a lot of failures, and so plenty sleepless nights. Exactly, there's a lot of plenty sleepless nights, and it's that same consistency with which you put out your work. Build a community. I would always say that your community is very, very important. I'm all about community building. Even with the work that I do here, community is very important. And keep learning. Keep learning. If you, like also said, I really love MM's talk, by the way. Thank you so much. But she also said, yeah, keep learning. It's very important that you do that. Like I am here, lots of people think that I know a lot, but no, as I learn, I'm sharing, and by that way, I'm helping someone, And those people are also helping me because I'm getting feedback from those people and I'm growing that way. So my mom always says this thing: if you stop learning, then you're probably dead. I hope I've been able to make your journey a little bit simpler, and I hope that these things would help you build your confidence even as you set into tech, and even as you go on your journey if you are already in tech. Thank you very much, HerTechTrail, for having me. I'm very excited. I love being with a lot of women. So
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much, Feranmi. This was a very lovely talk. Yeah, so I'm gonna post her Twitter handle. By the way, she's a very friendly person on Twitter. So this is her handle. You can always follow her and reach out to her and try to connect with her, right? So thank you so much, Feranmi. We really appreciate this.